All right, testing, 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 testing. I think we are good with this new mini microphone. I kind of like it. Um, so yeah, today, my gosh, um, daily episode, August 26th, Saturday, 2023. I just gotta fill you guys in about how weird my day was today, you guys. I just gotta fill you in. So I should have stayed home. So the last time I mentioned that I was, gonna go to um last time I mentioned I was gonna sorry, my brain's slow right now. I was gonna go to the appointment that I was actually preferring to cancel. If you guys remember, I said I was gonna go. So basically, I had this 8:15 a.m. appointment. I was running a little bit late today. I wanted to leave at like 7:40 a.m. Ended up leaving at like almost 8 a.m. Like a couple minutes before 8 a.m. And then was parking around 8:14 a.m. But mind you, you know how it is at these facilities, medical facilities. I mean, it takes time to park and walk, and my appointment was really in a really like back in the cut, like in this place, and I found out how to get to the location last time I was there when I had to reschedule. I found out how to get there. It was a little difficult, but I kind of remembered the route, so I was planning to go in through that same door. Luckily when I got there, parking was good, but they didn't have the attendant. And so that's something that kind of worries me because I'm like, well, if they don't have the attendant, um, that to me is a little bit scary because, they should have the attendants for each of the rows. Because, they parallel park cars in front of the other cars that are parked into the stalls. And so, I got one of the last spots. Like there was one far away row that had like spaces and I could see it as I drove in. And so I was like, cool. But there were like maybe two cars in front of me and we all went to the same row and we all got the parking. But it's like, yeah, when I was actually leaving, eventually I was leaving and there were people kind of circling at that point. So I get there, I already know I'm gonna be late, but I'm like, I'm not gonna be 15 minutes late and they'll still see me if I'm like within 15 minutes. So I'm like, it's not gonna take me 15 minutes. But it took me about 10 minutes to actually like figure out where to go because I walked to the wrong door. That door ended up being locked. Walk, Walked into the other door. Had to figure out how to get to where I needed to be by going through some other hallways, and then had to get to the right floor to get to that from the elevator to like walk around on that floor because it's a really complicated facility. So I finally get there, give them my ID and like card and stuff, and then they're like, okay, like we'll be with you in a second. I didn't notice anybody there. Like there were just empty seats and me, and to find them to check in, they weren't in the normal office. There was a sign on it saying go down a little bit more to like another office. So that's where I initially checked in, and they just told me to take a seat. They'll be right with me, and it took a little bit, and then there was some code they were like saying out over the loudspeaker. There was some code in the ER, and they're like code like whatever color. I think they're saying gold, like code gold in the in the ER near the main entrance. Code gold, and I don't know what that means. But when I walked in towards the main entrance that goes towards the ER, um, I did see someone kind of like curled up, laying down on the chairs inside past security. So I wasn't sure if it had anything to do with that person. There had also been some other person outside of the facility when I was walking from the outside door that was locked to try to get into the only door that was opened, to have to go through those hallways. Like there was someone else getting arrested and there were police there. So this is, I'm like, what is going on? And so I'm sitting there, nobody's there. It's just me, and I think it's just this one lady who's like some medical staff that's like in there, because she's the only person I saw, the only person I heard. She comes out for a while, asked me like what's the appointment for, so I told her, and then she's in there for a long time. And I start hearing like in the background, like it sounds like YouTube or radio or like news or some kind of talk radio kind of thing or something. I couldn't really make out what the conversation was, but I could tell somebody had turned something on, and it wasn't very loud at all. And I started, just like I was almost dozing off because I'm like, I'm tired, but the door that they were supposed to be at, that initial office that they were supposed to be at, where there was the sign to say go down to the other office, that door was slightly cracked open, so you could hear the door kind of squeaking back and forth, and then that sound of like how the air goes through like the double doors, how it's like that sound. I'm just like, what the heck? And then eventually they call again over the loudspeaker, code red, in the ER, like I think they said something. I don't know the exact words, but like whatever they were saying, it has been contained, or it has been complete, or like whatever the word was they used to say that. But I don't know what code gold is. I don't know what code red is, but I know it's probably not a good thing if they're announcing it over the loudspeaker. But I was the only one down there. I didn't see anybody else in that floor at all. In that waiting room, nothing. And then eventually, another staff comes out of that same room where the first lady took my, card and stuff. And, it looks like a patient. She's walking out the door because her appointment's over, and like thinking the second medical staff, which I didn't know there were two medical staffs, and I could hear the two of them talking back and forth, the two staff, like saying that I wasn't in the system, I wasn't on the calendar, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, I know I'm on the calendar, and thankfully I brought my printout because they printed out a hard copy of the appointment that they were supposed to schedule me for this morning, and maybe they never put it in. I don't really know, but whatever happened, they told me that that appointment didn't get in the system. First, they were trying to tell. First, the second lady, the second medical staff was kind of like you're here on the wrong day. Tomorrow's Sunday the 26th, and you're here on the wrong day. And I was like, I was pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Friday was the 25th. So I checked my phone, and it's like Saturday the 26th, and I'm just like, no, today's the 26th. And she's like, well, you're not in the system, you're not, and she's like, I can't put someone in the system. And I'm just thinking, okay. And um you know I'm like, I reach into my backpack and hand them the printout sheet that says this is my appointment, is today at this time, like, and they're just like, no, you're not in the computer. And I'm just like, okay, like whatever. So I wait like a while, and I'm like, I want to get this on recording, because I don't want it coming back to me saying that I'm missing appointments. Because apparently it says, I don't know if what she said, if she was saying that the last time I was here, it says that I canceled, or that this, I think that's what it said for last time, that I canceled. But this time, um they uh that this appointment was canceled, had been canceled. And I'm like, no, it never was canceled. I actually called Friday morning at like 7 something, but because the office was closed and I didn't want to call back again later and I had already made the decision, I'm just going to keep the appointment. I just never called back. And so I never actually did cancel that appointment. And so I don't know if somebody else canceled it or if the initial lady from the other day never put it in. I don't really know what happened, but either way, I got a printout and there's not a version of that in their computer. So I was just, at that point, I was so irritated because I woke up so early this morning. Like I always wake up early. I woke up before the sun came out. I don't even know what time it actually was, but I woke up too early and I was tired and I was like, this sucks that I have to go to this stupid appointment. But I was like, whatever, I'll just, at least I'll get it out of the way. And that's kind of how, um, that's kind of how my mindset was yesterday on Friday. So I was kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna go through with this appointment. Um, but yeah, I was annoyed. By that point, I was really annoyed. I was like, this is annoying to me that, these people, you know, first of all, the other time I was there, they're the ones who recommended canceling the appointment. I mean, I said yes, but I mean, they're the ones who technically canceled it. And then they said that they could reschedule me, and then she rescheduled me. And so I'm kind of like, what happened? And at least I have a car because I can't imagine if I lived far or had to use, pay for Uber to give me a ride or Lyft or something or take the bus, I'd be pretty outraged. But at least, I had a car and without traffic, instead of driving almost 25 minutes, it's actually like 15 minutes away. So without traffic, it's about 10 minutes closer. So that's nice. Or 10 minutes faster to get there. It's the same distance, but um, yeah, it feels like it's a lot closer. There was like nobody on the road too much, but yeah, I was annoyed. I was so annoyed, and I was a little irritated because I didn't even really fully get to eat breakfast because I was like rushing. Like I set my alarm for 7:20 a.m. and I was just having a really weird morning before that because I wanted to like doze off and go back to sleep. But I also was like at that time period where I'm usually awake and getting coffee, but I was like, I don't want to get coffee that early, you know? So I pushed a little later to get coffee a little later. I was gonna have coffee a little bit before I was gonna, like, closer to when I was gonna leave. So when I got up, I made coffee and then just got ready real quick, as quick as I could, but it still took me like 40 minutes to get ready. And then I ate like half of a perfect bar while I was driving over there. It was just drinking like a whole bunch of water. I think I drank about 3 bottles of water this morning. And so I was just like, I was irritated. I didn't even drink all my coffee. I drank half a cup of coffee. So I wasn't really like feeling too energetic or too great. And I was just like, let's just get this appointment over with and then I'll go grab something good for breakfast. And, I left without having the appointment finished, didn't even schedule another one. I'm not going to schedule another one. Like, this is going to be like the third attempt at this. Like, I'm kind of over it. I'm not trying to make like a fourth appointment. And so, and I don't really want to do the appointment anyways. So at this point, I'm just like, whatever. I'm over it. Um, and so that was this morning, and then on the way from the appointment, probably around like 9:45 or so, I get closer to my house, but not like right at the house. I'm still like 15 minutes from the house at this point, where I stopped by this old donut shop that I used to like, because I've decided, I'm gonna try to go back to a lot of the, when I do eat takeout, I'm gonna try to go back to a lot of the spots I used to like. Because I've gotten in a habit with like McDonald's and stuff like that. Like I'm gonna try to actually like go to ones that I enjoy. So I did switch my McDonald's mostly to In and Out. because In and Out is cheaper than McDonald's, and overall it's healthier. Like it's not like super healthier, but it's healthier enough, if that makes sense. So it's kind of healthier, you know. So I was kind of more interested in that. Um, so I went to this donut shop because they have like subs and croissant. They have subs, sandwiches, croissant sandwiches, wraps. Like not. I guess it's called like the ones without the buns. They have bagels and they have donuts and other kinds of snacks, beverages, stuff like that. And so I was like, yes, that's what I want. It's just like any donut shop you go and order, and they just make your like they either give you what you order or like make it. And it's pretty fresh. It's almost like Subway for donuts or something. Like it's a pretty chill little spot. But it's a donut shop, so and it's 24 hours. Unless they've changed the hours. But I remember that was like the one place in town that was 24 hours. It never had a bathroom, but it was open 24 hours. So I used to hang out there during college and high school, um, because it was like, close by the house. Well, I hung out more during college, not during high school, because I had a car in college, and yeah, so I was like, let me just go back to that spot and hang out more. Not hang out, but like eat. And then I saw there was a Vietnamese fusion restaurant next to it. And so I was like, shoot, next time I'm going to order from over there. And then, yeah, I'm going to start ordering more foods from places that I used to like. And maybe they will have changed, but maybe they're the same. So that was something I was like, that would be nice to do, is to start ordering from places that I liked before because I mean, if I'm gonna be spending so much money when I do eat takeout, I'd rather have it something that I've always liked. Um, and so yeah, so I came home, ate that sandwich. It's my favorite turkey sandwich in the city. All right, testing, testing again, testing. I don't know what just happened. I think either I unplugged the receiver, or I think I unplugged the receiver. It kind of turned off. The recording kind of turned off. But anyways, at least I noticed. So yeah, I think um yeah, the sandwich was good. I enjoyed myself eating. It was very delicious. Um, I had an edible uh as I was leaving the medical facility. I had an edible because I was like, whatever, I'm not doing anything today. Like, screw it. It's Saturday. I don't really need to be doing anything. And I was already a little bit stressed out from having not really eaten and having to deal with this appointment and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, eat something I like and just rest. So, um, yeah. So I was kind of upset with that medical appointment situation, but I'm like, maybe it's just not meant to be because it's like it shouldn't be this hard to get that appointment. Um, so yeah, ate the sandwich. It was delicious. That was around maybe 10 o'clock. I ate, and then somewhere along the line, I fell asleep from like I don't know how long, but until I woke up around 1:20 p.m. and it's because I didn't turn. I was cold earlier because I had my window open and the fan on, and I was pretty cold, probably because I hadn't really eaten a lot of food. I think it was maybe like a blood sugar thing, maybe. And so after I ate, I was feeling kind of cold actually. And then so I turned off my fan The window was still, was it open? Yeah, the window was still open, but not all the way open. And I somehow fell asleep and woke up around 1:20 because of the heat. So, and because I needed to go to the bathroom. So I just took care of that. And then I was kind of just trying to wake up at that point. I woke up, my left shoulder was super stiff. Luckily I have this like little like plug-in shiatsu massager thing. So at least whenever I get some weird back or shoulder issues, which I've been getting lately, I use that. Probably because I'm on my computer too much. So kind of has me all like hunched over. But yeah, I've kind of been noticing that. But that's why I'm trying to like pick up my workouts too, because I'm like, at least if I'm gonna be sitting around for a lot of the day, I think the use of the computer, like sitting in front of the computer kind of hunched, and then driving, kind of just like the posture with driving. I think those two things kind of maybe are kind of taking a little toll, even though I don't know. Um, but it seems like it. Um, and maybe it's like stress related too. It's hard to tell sometimes. I had some of that leftover Hawaiian food. I added, so I didn't have a lot of it. I had like um maybe like a serving spoon and a half worth of rice, half of the kimchi that's in there, a little bit of the macaroni salad, um, a little bit of like there was still half the egg from yesterday, and then I found the boiled egg in the fridge, so I added the boiled egg, and then I oven roasted some carrots, a tomato, and like like a pretty thick slice of an onion, and then I ate all that kind of together, and then it was delicious. um, yeah, but it's like a spicy fried rice. It's not the healthiest. That wasn't the healthiest meal. Oh, then I had this venison stick. It was like a venison stick. I don't know what you call it. Like a meat stick, kind of like a Slim Jim, but it was from Sprouts. Just a stick of meat. Um, and then around 6, because I ate around 5 for dinner, and then around 6 I had a little bit of caffeine from the C4, about half a scoop, then maybe a little more of a gulp of another amount. So I went to the gym, did pretty good with that. Um, well, that was another issue. I got there. I started um, working out, and 4 minutes into my workout, they announced that they're closing in 15 minutes. I did not know they close at 8 p.m. on a Saturday night. Really, you're gonna close the gym at 8 p.m.? So I didn't even think to check because it's a 24-hour fitness, and I know some of them close early, but I wouldn't have thought even 9 o'clock on a Saturday night. I would have thought maybe 10 or 11, but or maybe even midnight, but 8? I mean, like, come on, people are still like awake, you know? Like, but there's another one in the city that's open, like in my area that's open 24 hours, but it's the one where the parking's a nightmare. And so I just wanted to go in, get in a pretty good workout, but I was like, I have all the C4 in my system, so I have to exercise. I can't just like not do anything. So I just came home and did some dancing for like an hour, and like, I hit, I think today total between the walking around at the medical facility and the dancing and stuff, I think I hit like over 7,000 steps. um I don't know how much that is. Let me see. How much is 7,000 steps? How much is 7,000 steps? Let me see. How much is 7,000 steps miles. Um, 3.5 miles. So that's not bad. So I was over about that much. Um, so yeah, that was pretty good. I feel a lot better, but I don't know if I'm gonna sleep early at all because I'm a little wired now because I've been up. But yeah, I had a protein shake, and so I'm gonna be going to the bathroom a bit, and then um, I'm that was pretty much my dinner. I might have this like turkey stick, just to make sure I don't get the munchies too hard because I'm not trying to like eat like a whole bunch of snacks tonight. But yeah, guys, like I don't know. That's why I was kind of joking. Like I should have just stayed home today. But yeah. At least I got my warm up in at the gym. After I was cycling for like. Well, I heard the announcement at 4 minutes in, but I was cycling to like 5 minutes. Not a big difference. And then I because of that announcement, I was gonna go at least like 10 to 20 minutes, but because of that announcement, I was like, well, let me go do another thing for like a couple minutes. So I just did like a couple minutes of like 20-pound just like curls. I don't know how many reps, or I wasn't doing a lot. I probably did like one set, maybe two sets of a couple reps, a few reps. I don't think it was anything. There was just a little sense of urgency because I didn't want to be late. But I was like, dang, they closed. So I didn't know that. So now I know. They close Saturdays and Sundays at 8 o'clock. I don't remember which days close at 10 and which days close at 9, but they are not 24 hours. They are closed by, depending on the day, somewhere between 8 and 10 p.m. So now I know. Um, but yeah, that was pretty much the last thing I did today. And then just just recording this segment, this episode, and then just kind of gonna chill till I start feeling tired and I'm able to kind of fall a little bit to sleep because it's kind of hard to sleep because I'm not really tired. Um, yeah, I kind of feel like I want some chips and salsa, but I don't really know. Um, I might do that. I don't know. It's really late to be snacking, but I don't know. I did take a nap, so maybe I can stay up a little late. I'll see how I feel tomorrow. I might do deliveries around lunch. I'm not really into the idea of it, but I don't know. I might. I'll see. I might not do anything tomorrow. I might not go out tomorrow. If anything, I might go to the gym tomorrow just because I'm not really on a roll, but you know, I don't know. When I'm motivated to do it, I try to do it. And it's easier too on days once I'm kind of like more loosened up from the previous days because I've already gone like a couple times this week now, just back to back. So, I mean, I did kind of slack all the other days of the week, but I did get in. So, you know, that's kind of all I have to say for today. But it was a day, guys. Like, I was kind of like, it wasn't as relaxing. Like, there was a huge relaxing chunk in the middle, but the morning kind of threw me. And when I left from the doctor's office, I didn't even say, like, normally I would have been like, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it, and try to be all polite. I was just like, kind of straight to the point and just like, you know what, if it's not gonna work out today, I'll just schedule. And I just kind of took the paper back from them and got my ID and stuff, and then just put it all in my backpack and just walked away. And they were kind of like bye kind of thing, and I, And I was just like, have a good weekend. But I was already like out the door when I said have a good weekend. But like I was like, I don't want to be rude or mean, but I don't want to be like normally I would have been like, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it. It's like, no, no, you know, I don't I'm not gonna like make them feel bad about it, but I'm not gonna comfort them, you know. Like I know they're busy and everything, but it's like I'm busy too, you know. And at least I'm not as busy or as broke as some people or don't have transportation. I mean, I'm not trying to be like sound like an asshole. I'm just saying like, you know, if I had taken the bus or if I had to get an Uber or get a ride from somebody, like it would have been pretty bad. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I I don't really know. Like I think overall it should be fine. I'm just um I don't know. Like today's over almost. In about 30 minutes it'll be officially over and then like I'm kind of like whatever. Like things worked out for as far as like, there was nothing urgent today. It was just, it does take me a lot of energy and effort to like do stuff and like extra errands and stuff like that. So I don't really like it when I try to do something that I need to be doing, and then it doesn't really work out. It's like I need to go to the gym. I need to go to my appointments, but it's like, you know, I don't know. Maybe I just should have scheduled it for a different time anyways. Like I knew that was going to be too early, but I try not to like run myself ragged anymore. I'm trying to just like keep things as simple as possible so that my energy is reserved for the other things that I have to be doing. Um so we'll see. We shall see. See how the rest of the weekend goes. Should go good. I should be pretty relaxed and ready to rock and roll tomorrow. I'll see if I feel like making money or just being creative and not making money, or I don't know, all of the above. Um, Sometimes I try to just go with the momentum of the day. Like if I have motivation and the momentum's going good, I like to just kind of do what it is that I feel like I need to be doing if I'm actually in the mood to do it. Um, because sometimes it's like I don't want to drive deliveries, but if I actually wake up and like feel like I really want to go do it, I'd rather do it on those days. I'd rather go to the gym on the days that I'm like I really feel like I want to go, then I'll just like go. You know, so yeah, I guess we're gonna see. Yeah, I didn't even get a chance to record this morning because um, I was on the road. I was like, I thought I was gonna record while I was driving this morning, but like I was just trying to get there. And like not really weaving in and out of traffic, but I was, really, most of the time when I'm driving, most of the streets I have to take are like two lanes. And so, there's usually like a car in each lane that's going like a little bit slow or something. And so sometimes I try to get around them, especially because I was running late anyways. So I wasn't like speeding that much or like weaving that much, but I was just getting around certain cars so that I wouldn't be like missing every light. Um, so it seemed to make about 3 minutes worth of difference, but also it's like whatever, like whatever. But yeah, that's about it for today. Um, it was a little It was a little bit eventful, but I didn't really want any adventure. I kind of just it would have been nice for everything to just work smoothly, but um, I don't know. Um, at least with the exercising, I was able to probably do a better job once I got home. But all right, that's it for now. Thanks for listening.